Thank you, Jerry, and good afternoon, everyone. I have a brief disclaimer for you, and we'll have a look at a Pilbara Minerals overview. Pilbara, for the last 2.5 years, has been totally devoted to its Pilgangoora project in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. In the last 2.5 years, we've spent somewhere in the order north of $30 million and conducted 80,000 metres, in excess of 80,000 metres of RC and diamond drilling. We've undertaken detailed metallurgical, mining, engineering and environmental studies, and as a result of that we have discovered the world's second largest lithium tantalum resource. The significance of this discovery has been enormous to our company. It is a globally significant resource in every respect, world class in every respect, and just to put it in context, the world's largest lithium tantalum resource is at Greenbushes in Western Australia, and that is the world's largest lithium mine, and Australia is the world's largest lithium producer. It all comes from the one mine at Greenbushes. Our discovery is somewhat larger in tonnage than Greenbushes in terms of published JORC compliant resource, but we are a lower grade project, but growing rapidly, and we think the sky's the limit. It's been a great program. The last 2.5 years we completed a DFS which was announced to the market last week, and that definitive feasibility study has underpinned the project by demonstrating the technical and financial robustness, and we'll have a look at those numbers shortly. At the same time we completed the DFS study, we've also completed a PFS study to up the throughput from 2 million tonne per annum to 4 million tonne per annum, and that PFS is, I find, the most exciting work we've done to date. It really demonstrates the financial viability of the project through to 2020, where we will be operating fully at 4 million tonne per annum, and that demonstrates our confidence in the global lithium market, which we think is really set to take off from about 2018 onwards. The project will be up in construction phase by the end of this year and in production by the end of 2017. The project location is key to the financial robustness of the project. We're located in the Pilbara region, 120 kilometres south of Port Hedland. The Pilbara region of Western Australia is a global Tier 1 mining district. Port Hedland, the major port servicing the Pilbara, is the world's largest port in terms of export tonnage. Some 450 million tonne per annum of iron ore goes through that port and out to China, primarily to China. And we have full access to that port, to Utah Point loading facility. The haul road from our mine to port is predominantly the Great Northern Highway, which is a major transport corridor for iron ore. We only actually have to build about a 7-kilometre section from the mine to hook up with the road, so we're off to a very good head start. It should be remembered that spodumene, the ore that we're mining, which is lithium pyroxene or lithium aluminosilicate, is not a high-value product. The concentrate we're producing currently sells for around $650 US a tonne, so it doesn't stand up to long-distance transport. So starting life with all that infrastructure in place is key to the strong financial numbers we're seeing in the DFS. The company's going through fairly hefty change. We're changing from being an exploration company into a dynamic mining company, and consequently we've made a few additions to our board this year. We've brought on Tony Kiernan as chairman, a very well-known West Australian mining identity. We've brought on Steve Scudamore, similarly high-powered mining executive, and the key man, Ken Brinsden, our MD and CEO, who's spent the last 15 years of his life working in the Pilbara, running iron ore mines. Ken, unfortunately for this week, is in the US on a roadshow with Goldman Sachs, so he couldn't be here. But he has built 6 or 7 mines in the Pilbara over the last decade, iron ore mines, and he's brought some of his key team from Atlas into Pilbara, and that gives us enormous confidence that our project will be delivered on time. Corporate summary, there's two numbers there that are worth looking at. We've got 96 million cash in the bank. We completed a $100 million capital raising a few months back, and I'm glad we did. But it's put us in a very strong position. We have no debt. The average daily turnover of Pilbara shares is a staggering 14.4 million a day. That's average volume. That's over $7 million worth of shares every day. So that indicates the level of interest in this company, and that's really been from 2 years ago onwards. We've had amazing turnover in shares. We have over 11,000 retail investors as shareholders in our company. The DFS outcomes, there's some really strong numbers with this DFS. We're looking to produce 315,000 or 314,000 tonne of spodumene concentrate per annum. The demand from China for that product is really over the top. We could probably sell that production right now 2 or 3 times, and hence our interest in very quickly ramping up to 4 million tonne per annum. The project has a significant tantalite credit worth about $20 million a year to us, so it is a globally significant tantalite project as well as lithium. The bottom line production cost is around $200 a tonne, and the average sale price at the moment for that concentrate is around $650 a tonne. We've used a much lower number for our DFS numbers, but the margin, $400 odd a tonne over 300,000 tonne, gives us a really robust EBITDA of something like 120 million. 15-year first 15 years, the operating cost is even less than $200 a tonne. We've got looking at a project payback in 2.7 years and an NPV of 709 million on a capex of 214 million. Our cash position is strong, near $100 million. We have another 30 million coming in from our offtake partner in 2 stages, and the balance of funding, we've got numerous offers on the table. It's part of the reason for Ken's trip to the US this week. The mining is straightforward open pit. You can see the resource numbers up there, 128 million tonne of resource, 70 million tonne of reserve, giving us an initial 35-year mine life. 35 years is ridiculous, but we'll chew through that reserve quicker once we expand to 4 million tonne. Conventional open pit mining, you can see the in the bottom right-hand corner there, an outline of the open pit, cross-section of the open pit, stacked pegmatites, very low stripping ratio. They're dipping at a very friendly 35 to 45 degrees, and a lot of capacity for increased resource and reserve at depth. I believe this is a generational mine. It'll be operating in 50 years' time. The processing for spodumene is quite straightforward. It's gravity, it's crushed grind gravity, and the spodumene comes out in 2 stages. It comes out as a coarse concentrate at the start of the process. Tantalite comes out as a product in the intermediate section of the plant, and the last stage is flotation to recover the fine spodumene. Those products are then blended as a 6% concentrate, and the tantalite comes out as a 30% concentrate. We've included in this plant upfront crushing to cater for a 4 million tonne throughput, and similarly at the back end of the plant we have put in, included in the capex, concentration for upgrading our spodumene. Some of our spodumene will go out as technical grade product at 7%, and that's all been allocated in the into the capex. Rapid pathway to financing. Well, most of our finance is accounted for. We'll be commencing construction before the end of this year in December, and looking for commissioning and commencement of production towards the end of next year, with first product going out early 2018. The 4 million tonne per annum expansion option, I find one of the most exciting aspects of the project. The numbers are very large, $250 million per annum EBITDA, big number, over $1 billion NPV. Project payback in total is only 3.1 years, so very robust, And we believe because of the demand for lithium, we will be moving immediately to the expansion once the project has met its specs at 2 million tonne per annum throughput. Just to demonstrate the global significance of Pilbara, it sits out there as the biggest resource, and it's also the biggest reserve in terms of tonnage in the world. It's a mighty deposit. It's going to get a hell of a lot bigger than where it is now. We've only been drilling for 2 years, as I said earlier, 80,000 metres of drilling, but we are continuing to drill. We're still not deep drilling. The problem that we have at the moment is we're finding continuations of the pegmatites where we'd planned to put a lot of our mine infrastructure, a lot of our processing plant, tailings dumps, mullock dumps, etc. So that's causing us to do a bit of replanning, but it's also substantially increasing the resource, and we'll probably put out an upgrade on that in the next few months, but it's definitely heading towards 150 to 200 million tonne. Lithium's a very interesting commodity. It has a wide range of industrial uses that we all use in everyday life. Well, hopefully not all of us, because it's an antidepressant. It's the active ingredient in bipolar medication. It's the active ingredient in most automobile greases. Lithium greases are the standard lubricating greases that we use in everyday life. But the big users of lithium are the glass ceramics industry, still near the biggest use for lithium. Spodumene is used directly in black ceramic cooktops, and refined spodumene as lithium carbonate's used extensively in glassware, and for example, armour glass, bulletproof glass contains quite high levels of lithium carbonate. Rechargeable battery market is the big one. 15 years ago, that market barely existed. And today, of course, with consumer electronics, that market has continued to grow at a rapid rate. The real story around lithium is in China. There is massive electrification of China's transport system being undertaken at the moment. There's currently 200 million e-bikes on the roads in China. That number is growing at 30 million bikes per annum. They are building 20,000 buses per annum. BDY, a company partly owned by Warren Buffett, is a huge builder of electric buses and soon to be electric vehicles. They have a 5-year plan, and China is aiming to produce 5 million EVs by the year 2020. They are aiming to have a $15,000 EV on the road in 2020 and a sub $10,000 EV on the road by 2022. Massive market, not well understood by the Western analysts, but to put it in perspective, Tesla is the gigafactory we hear a lot about. Well, China's building capacity 10 times the size of Tesla's gigafactory. It is our big market. There are 3 huge markets opening up for lithium-ion rechargeable batteries as replacements for lead-acid batteries. As the EV market expands, we're predicting there'll be 5 to 10 million EVs on the road in 2020, half from China and half from the rest of the world. It's a huge growing market, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. We believe there'll be massive growth through to 2030, and the EV market is projected by some analysts. We're seeing now recent intelligent analysis of the EV market predicting a $160 billion industry sometime post-2025. I won't have time to go through this because my time's almost up, but it's anyone who wants to know the detail of where we see the lithium market going between now and 2025, please come and see us, because the growth is going to be massive. There's been some analysts in Australia suggesting there will be a spodumene glut in 2019-20. That is utter nonsense. Snowball's chance in hell of that happening. There's a massive shortfall of lithium supply that is projected 2019, and we're hoping that there'll be a lot more lithium projects developed in Australia, because we believe it is a massive industry to be developed in this country and generate a lot of wealth. My time's up. Thank you very much, and it's great to see a crowd here. Well done.
Thanks, Neil.